Hello again, everyone. This is for field number 3, the soil sample taken from field number 3. We can see here, this is our soil profile after we've let it sit for over 48 hours. So we can see that organic matter floating on the top. We can see it's pretty clear in that middle section, and then we can see the actual soil has settled to the bottom, with the darker color being on the very bottom, the denser materials on the bottom, and then the little bit lighter on the top of that material. So we can tell a big difference between profile and field number 3 from 1 and 2. So you can make note of that in your worksheet for today. Our materials are the same as the other 2 videos. We have our soil, we have our bag where we collected our soil, we have our distilled water, our sensors, our pipette, and our simulators. So what we can do, I'm going to begin with pH. I have filled our pH to that fill line. I'm going to fill to that second fill line with distilled water, making sure it's all the way. And I'm going to take our capsule for pH sensing and place it fully into our test. I'm going to cap our sensor, making sure that it's secure, and I'm going to shake. As I'm shaking, once again, this is going to be for pH. It gives us that paper on the outside, which it'll show us the color indicator it changes, such as between 4.5, pretty acidic, to up to 7.5, where it's an alkaline. I'm going to let this sit for 1 minute so that we can see what the pH of that soil is. As we go, I'm going to start walking through the other portions. I've already filled nitrogen and potassium with the substance, the soil water. I'm going to fill our potassium next. We're filling this to the fill line so that I can then put in the actual capsules, which will tell us what the levels are. So the levels of N, P, and K. And we'll dive a little bit deeper into essential nutrients here in the next week. I'm going to begin with nitrogen. I'm going to empty that capsule into nitrogen. Place it to the side. Cap our sensor. And I'm going to shake this once I've completed all of these. Taking phosphorus, placing it into the test chamber, capping it. I'm going to set it to the side so I can shake it afterwards, and finishing out with this K, potassium, or that potash. Capping it, and now I'm going to shake it for 1 minute. You'll see the video begin again after it has been 10 minutes of waiting. It has been 10 minutes. We're going to take a look and see what's going on. Soil profile number 3, so field number 3. This is what we can see for nitrogen. On our slides, we're going to highlight. Is it N4 in surplus, N3 sufficient, N2 adequate, N1 deficient, or N0 depleted? Feel free to pause the video and go through that. Next up, phosphorus. Here's our phosphorus. Is that a P4 surplus, P3 sufficient, P2 adequate, P1 deficient, or P0 depleted? This is for phosphorus. Based off that color, what is it? Our potassium, our potash. What do we think? Is that a K4 surplus, K3 sufficient, K2 adequate, K1 deficient, or K0 depleted? What color do we see? And our pH. What do we think? What color is this? What number on the pH scale does this signify?